Hi, I'm James McGuire, and our topic today is the Google Cloud, how to get the most from the Google Cloud platform. To talk about that, I'm joined by Paul Nash, Senior Product Manager, Google Cloud Platform. Hi, Paul. How are you doing today?
Great. Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. I know you were up in Seattle this morning.
Yeah, I am. We have quite a few people up here working on cloud. It's kind of become known as the Cloud City.
Uh-huh.
It's
Oh,
definitely
absolutely.
pretty cloudy out today, too.
It is literally cloudy in addition to business-wise cloudy.
Indeed, it's not just a pun.
Yes. Speaking of which, before I give you my first official question, I want to mention a tweet that you gave a while back. It's actually a cloud joke, and I love this. There's not that many cloud jokes out there. The
Sure.
tweet goes like this: "Quote, went to weigh myself, got a low battery error. I have a scale ability problem."
Yeah,
Now you definitely have to be a cloud geek to get that joke, I think.
I think so. Yeah, it's the kind of thing, some people have brilliant ideas to revolutionize the world when they're in the shower, and Wi-Fi battery-powered scale, and it doesn't work, and I start thinking about what my SREs would say. So
Excellent. I'm going to nominate that as the best cloud joke of 2017. We'll see what else comes in.
I'll keep an eye on the retweets.
So, thinking about a business that wants to get on board with the cloud, or more likely wants to expand their cloud deployment.
Yeah.
They're looking at, what might be thought of as the big three, Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to that business? Why should they choose Google Cloud to either get on board or expand as opposed to one of the other large infrastructure as a service vendors? What's
Sure.
the advantage there?
Yeah, so I think the primary thing that I would say is, Google, we feel like we've been a cloud business for pretty much our entire existence. And so the thing that's changed recently is we've entered the business of providing that excellent technology that we've been developing to power internet search and YouTube and some of these other giant scale services. We've been working on providing that power and flexibility to our customers. So for us, it's always been about innovation. And that started way before we had cloud products, but then continued with things like App Engine, which is one of the very early cloud products out there. And also other things that you might not think about as originally cloud or even originally Google, like Hadoop, which was really derived from MapReduce, which was a Google technology.
Right.
There are others out there as well, like Google File System. So now that we have all of that technology being brought and made available to consumers, we believe that really provides some of the best technology that's available in cloud to deploy your workloads on. So we're working hard every day to continue innovating there and bring the most performant, price efficient, and competitive, interesting products to market.
Mm-hmm. I think price is a key issue, and a lot of industry observers point to this so-called race to the bottom price-wise.
Yeah.
Some of the larger vendors are cutting prices aggressively in these still fairly new days of the cloud in an effort to gain market share.
Sure.
What would you say to a business in terms of either the price advantage of Google, or I'd make this a complicated two-part question if I can.
Sure.
Either A, what is the price advantage to Google, or B, if a business is going to get on board with Google, what are the insider tips about pricing? Like where's the 59-cent off coupon, so to speak, or
Right.
what would you might say to them in terms of how do you shave a few pennies if you're going to get on board with GCP?
Sure. So I think the primary thing is we've approached pricing from a sense of trying to keep it innovative and also flexible and easy to use and simple, right? So I actually gave a talk about this at our conference, Cloud Next in March. That really sort of underscored each of the pieces that go into that. And so that starts from having permanent billing options. So we're not locking you in for an hour. We automatically give you sustained use discounts. So if you use a VM for a significant fraction of the month, starting at about 50% of the month and going all the way up to 100%, we automatically give you a discount back. So that's more scalable and flexible. You're not locked into saying in advance that you want to pay or that you're going to use it for the whole month if you don't know. Now, more recently, we've introduced another product called committed use discounts, and we've been talking about this a lot with customers. There are some customers that know that they want to use a product for the whole month or for the whole year, and so they want to be able to tell us in advance and have us basically give that sustained use discount over that even longer time period. So on top of that, we offer custom machine types, which is a flexible way of dialing in the size of the machine so that you're not paying for more than you need, and a number of other innovative features like that. So One of the things that we're doing is trying to make it so that they don't have to go searching for that 59-cent coupon. They just automatically get a great price, right? So I guess one other thing I'd mention in that respect is we have a feature called right sizing. And this has gotten some interesting commentary, like in the Twitter universe. We have a feature that will automatically tell the customer you're spending too much money. Click this button and you'll save money.
Seriously, so how does someone access the right sizing button?
So it's automatically there in the developer console. What we'll do is from the outside, without looking at actually what's running inside your VM, we can tell if your processor is effectively idle or if you're not using all of the memory that you asked for in the VM. And so we can say, hey, you never used more than 30% of the memory on this machine. You should scale that machine down to a smaller size. Click here to do so. And
so in theory, actually, Google would have less revenue at that point, but the customer would be happier.
Yeah.
Is that what you see is going on?
Yeah, that's basically, I mean, we're happy to help the customer spend less money on that particular resource because we think they're getting a better value that way, and we know that they'll be happy to spend the money doing something else that's important to their business. We don't feel like we need to overcharge because it's not just a vendor relationship to us, like where we have a fixed product, we're going to sell it to them, they're going to buy it and go away. This is kind of, we see this as a partnership. So we feel, and a lot of our customers tell us, that this thing of give us all your computers and we'll run them for you and just trust us, it'll be fine. That's not really a vendor relationship anymore. We hold their business in our hands and we take that responsibility very seriously. And part of that is not overcharging them when we think they're not looking. So,
do you are a lot of customers taking advantage of the right sizing option, or is it still a newer idea?
Yeah, we see a lot of excitement about it. It's a feature that I believe is still in beta, but we've seen a lot of interest in it, and we have some great ideas about where to take it forward in the future. It also leverages custom machine types, so they work together. Right? We will tell you what the what the right custom machine size is. On the custom machine type side, that feature's been out for a little bit over a year, and we actually see about 20% of our total usage is from customers using custom machine types. So that's been pretty amazing, and pretty clearly answers the question of like, is that a weird, hard feature to understand how to use? No, we're trying to make it as simple as we can.
Mm-hmm. What about the idea of Google being, the open cloud? I sometimes hear that. Yeah. I mean, is that either is that true? Does Google want to be known as the open cloud, and does that mean focusing on open source? Because I know some of the open source developers grumble about not all vendors give back equally, and some companies give back a lot more to the open source community. So sure. Is Google focused on open source, or does it mean open in a different interoperability in that sense?
That's a great question. So definitely open in the open source way, but I think it goes beyond that of building a community of technologies and best practices for how the industry works. So on the open source side, I would mention a couple things. First of them is Kubernetes. Which has really brought a lot of Google's previously internal knowledge and expertise about how to manage containers out into the public and invited other contributors in. And we see that there are other companies out there contributing at a level that is as serious as we are to that effort. And it's become quite a strong community effort, and there's foundations, and it's really great to see that energy. The other one I'd mention is TensorFlow, which is really sort of becoming the de facto standard as a platform for machine learning technology, and we see it running in all clouds. So at a conference last week,
open source, just for background, it's an open source machine learning library, correct?
Right. Yeah. So that was Google technology that was invented and then released open source about a year ago. There's another one also. We have a product called Dataflow, which has a programming model that we open sourced it's now called Apache Beam. So there's just sort of three examples, and that is definitely a part of our key strategy. The thing I would say that goes beyond that, where we've taken some efforts to engage the community, is a toolkit that we released a while ago called PerfKit, which is an open source collaborative way of measuring performance of VMs in the cloud. So we're talking about price, but at Google, we like to talk more about this combination of price and performance. So really, it's not just about what you're paying for a virtual machine that, you're not maybe sure how much performance you're getting out of it, because what you really want to do at the end of the day is pay as little as you can to accomplish the work that you need to accomplish. So really that combination of price and performance is what's important. So PerfKit Benchmarker is a set of tools that we developed and open sourced, and we have collaboration from a number of different companies, all contributing different benchmarks into that. And then that can be run on any cloud or on any on-premise workload, and all the data is publicly available. So you can see how those benchmarks are running across clouds. And it's not just us saying that cloud over there runs this way, we run at this speed, or we have the best. You can actually go measure for yourself and even monitor it if you want.
It literally is going to compare performance among different clouds, even in non-Google clouds with Google clouds.
That's right. Yeah. So the benchmarks can be run on any cloud, and then you can compare the performance of those results. Mm-hmm. So that's just one way. And I think in general, what we see is that most, if not all, customers, when you survey them, they express an interest that or an intent to use more than one cloud. So I think the future reality for the next number of years is that their customers are going to be using multiple clouds. So that ability to choose the right cloud for the right workloads and move things around if they need to is definitely important. So I think that interop and openness is an interesting aspect. That so we don't just mean we want to put this source package out there and then have everybody use it. It's much bigger than that.
Right, interoperability. I do hear that from a lot of businesses, that very few businesses want to have a sole relationship with one cloud vendor. I mean, I think I read this survey recently where it's like, it's a very large percentage of businesses have a multi-cloud setup going on.
Yeah, our research is that it's at least 75% of them.
Right. So, I mean, let's talk about the future. I mean, if we were suddenly sitting here in the year as 2020, which is actually not that long away, scarily enough. What are we going to be talking about in terms of cloud? Where is cloud going? Mm-hmm. And I guess does Google clearly seems to see the multi-cloud world is going to be the dominant world, but what do you see happening in the cloud in the next few years, several years?
Yeah, so it's a broad spectrum of needs that we see from customers today. So there are a lot of customers who are still getting started really with cloud. Almost everybody, over 90% from what we can tell, have something in the cloud now, mm-hmm. But maybe it's an experiment or a digital marketing campaign or a mobile app or something, and they're kind of still figuring out where they're going to go with their core infrastructure and line of business services. So in the next few years, I think we'll see that the vast majority of people have moved a lot of their work to cloud, and that sort of continues to accelerate, and that's either a lift and shift type operation, or it's a re-engineer and a transformation. A lot of the reasons behind that is just, it's pretty clear now that there are cost savings to be had in cloud. No matter what your use case is, you can probably do it more affordably in cloud, and you certainly get more flexibility. So we look at that, and it's really, we see that the cloud model of engineering and innovation and flexibility has led to us being able to build some incredible technologies as Google. And we think that that's only accelerating. When you look at things like machine learning and AI, Internet of Things, devices, those technologies really benefit from having the scale and flexibility of cloud and being able to use what you need when you need it. So there's kind of a revolution going on. And so another technology would be like serverless. It's a brand new way of programming that doesn't really exist on-prem. And as more and more companies move to the cloud and look towards how they want to build a solution, there's more leverage. In fact, they can build solutions faster, and there's more flexibility there for them to do that. So
it's interesting that the serverless is worth taking a second on, because it seems like it's the ultimate in headache-free cloud computing. Can you talk a little bit about, say, how Google is using serverless, or what that means for GCP in particular?
Yeah, and I think we'll have probably some more to say about that in other forums as well. So I think we're kind of running out of time, but
gotcha.
In a quick way. So we have Google Cloud Functions. We also have App Engine technology, which we continue to invest and innovate in. That was one of our earliest cloud products. And both of these allow you to create innovative applications very quickly that don't require you to get involved in the behind-the-scenes operation and provisioning of servers and those bits that might not really be what you're after. And so we see a lot of interest and excitement in that space, and we're that's an example of a place where we're innovating rapidly. So
Paul, I think you said it. I mean, any closing comments you want to add before we wrap up today?
No, just really thank you for the time. It's been great to chat with you, and really appreciate it, and hope to see everybody in Google Cloud.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. All right. Bye-bye.